Welcome everyone to another video, another replay video. I'm Diggs and I'm casting for iceforge.net. Here today we have a Protoss, a Warrior, a red Protoss, and G-Fire, which is going to be the dark blue Zerg, against a purple Swilly, who's going to be a Terran, and then you've got the turquoise Box Fracture, who will be another Terran. So you've got two Terrans against a Zerg and a Protoss. The Protoss will look to probably, maybe in a 2v2 use a proxy against two Terrans who are likely to wall off both of their sides, one here and the other one here, although we do see some destructible rocks, so they possibly might not, well, that Terran player may not wall off. He may look to go a little bit more aggressive, while this one, or Box, blocks off the main ramp. But maybe it'd be interesting to see a proxy. No, I don't see a proxy. It'd be interesting to see a little forward pylon, go a bit forward. Here, high mill. High yield over there. Let's have a look at what they're going for. Well, the Zerg player usually like to go for Zerglings against Terran. They like to really mass up those Zerglings, go for the Marines if they can really take those out early game, take out the Marines, really get that map control, loads of creep tumors everywhere. That's probably the ideal start for a Zerg player. There goes the Overlord. Hopefully you can go a little bit of a scout. You've got another one here taking that part, the most direct route to him. Protoss player working, trying to block off that middle bit, the same as the Terran player, not as fast as the Terran player in blocking off in their buildings, Protoss, but here, look at it. Two gateways coming up right at the start next to the pylon. Got all minerals, and there you go. There comes the SCV ready to do a little scout. There we go, just going to do a slight scout there, see what's going on. He hasn't built anything yet, so he won't get anything from the scout just yet. They're playing a pretty slow game, you could argue. Whereas a Protoss player, going for an assimilator already. And there's two gateways, nothing to really hide. I mean, you know, the gateways are pretty normal. Got a spawning pool up, well, going up for the Zerg player anyway. So that's a scout. That's exactly what he's getting from his scout. Where you can't really make anything out there. You really need to leave him there. Maybe run around a little bit. But the problem is they've got Zealots coming out. He's going to hit him, and he gets half, roughly half there. That one strike by that Zealot. Nearly just about managed to escape. A couple of Overlords just watching either side. Let's go back to Terran players, see what they're doing. He hasn't built anything there because of the destructible rock, which is probably for the best. He's got a barracks and a tech lab up. He's going for the concussive shells. We can use that quite nicely. Going to go for a refinery. And there you go, you see the block off there by Box Fracture. A bit of lag. See all the chat coming up at once. Can't set more SCVs, a refinery coming up. But he's going to look to completely block out the top, which is what all Terran players should look to do. In the 2v2 map you've got a much bigger ramp as well, so spam it with a bit of a supply depots isn't a bad idea. Looking for the barracks, sorry, not barracks, bunker. A couple of bunkers there. Put some Marines, Reapers, whatever you can in there to stop them. A couple of Zealots. And yes, in this game it'd be nice to know that Warrior is lagging out from time to time. So some sort of issues. Spawning pool, getting up the metabolic boosts. There goes the drone now. G-Fire's gone for a very quick expansion. As you can see, he has gone for two extractors. But that is a very, very fast expansion. And he's going to look to take advantage of that. Try not to cluster his resources. I mean, Zergs can usually go for a fast expansion. They're very, very good at going for fast expansions. Just look at the resources tab here. It's only 0 because just ignore the red. He's starting to lag out a little bit. Look at G-Fire's resources, it's more or less through the roof, more than any player on the map, more than the Team 2 put together. So you can see why his two yields are working together so well. He's got probably the right amount of drones for the right amount of food count he has. He's actually topped out his whole food count, 36 out of 36, which is not a surprise. Here goes two Zerglings. Probably have a little scout. We'll see them. Nothing really new from the Terran players. Still waiting for Marines. siege tank. You need to get something a bit bigger to take out those zerglings, take out that spam. That's going to be obvious in a Zerg player strategy. They are going to spam at some point. It's not a bad thing, it's just what Zerglings do. Sorry, what Zergs do, not Zerglings. Well, they are little Zerglings, aren't they? But it's just what they do. There you got a queen out. Only way to counter that is, by getting a lot of tanks and Reapers, going for the bigger units. The Marines will do quite a bit of damage, but the Zerglings will surround them eventually and take them on, and eventually kill them. Only a couple of Zerglings coming on. Overlord. Just remaining in that middle, not really the middle, just making sure that he hasn't taken the Zelnaga watchtower. You've got to take that. You're going to take anything, that's the one to take. And here goes the first attack we're going to see. There you go, lots of Marauders. And they'll just push halfway up the map. Give something both of those players to think about. Look at the resources, 2,450. That's probably because Warriors got disconnected, but let's just leave that to it and look at the resources. You look at that, 43 out of 60. That's the food count. And take on Zerglings. Pretty standard one. They're running away shooting. Pretty good. There's a Marine in there. These Zealots, you don't want to get them so close. That's good. That's very good micro. He's doing it well. He's running away and shooting and running away and shooting and making sure the Zealots cannot get anywhere close. He's got to watch out though for any Zerg attacks. Thankfully this time there are none. Here come the creep tumors. Yeah, when you've got to watch out for a 2v2, you've got to watch out for the Zerglings coming around the back. There you go, they're coming round the back. And they take one out more or less straight away. And another one straight away. And that's what happens, they go round the back and they circle, and they encircle, you just relay swarms. Brilliant. G5 using those Zerglings to perfection. He's going to take out the whole, more or less the whole squad that Swillow sent. And that's it, all gone. Only with a couple of Zerglings. That is brilliant. But still, getting those minerals, he's cash floating, that's what we used to call it in Battles from Earth. He's looking to resource float. Needs to spend a little bit more. Maybe go for a little bit more upgrades. We'll see some upgrades. Look at the upgrade tab. See what's going on here. He's getting upgrades. He's getting some creep tumors as well. So we're going to be looking at some upgrades for the Zerglings. And when they do have their upgrades, they are very, very strong because their armor gets up. It's more difficult to kill from a Marine that does not have upgrades. If this team does not have upgrades, they're going to find it very, very difficult to counter these very quick Zerglings. Here comes a factory. Now lots of supply depots coming in. You've got 3 barracks, 2 techs, you've got 1 reactor. You do have an engineering bay. You're going to get upgrades, so that's good. The upgrades are more or less necessary. They're basically going to camp out this whole section. And you've got a command center which is going to push around here, so that'll mostly negate G5's second expansion, although he is running pretty decently on 2. Have a look at an infestation pit, so he's going to go for it completely now. And this command center will look to go here, try and get a second resource find. And there we go, you've got some Banshees out, so we're going to have a couple of starports. We have 2 starports out. Got an engineering bay. Some missile turrets are going to camp this part out, which is, I'm not sure, in a 2 versus 2, they know that they're 1 man down, so Zergling's going to have to spam. I'm not sure why they're not now taking this bit, trying to look to reinforce this side of the wall. That is going to be the weak spot. If I was G5, I'd look to exploit this part here. I mean, they'd know they're coming because of that, but they'd be able to scout it out pretty easily because of that supply depot there. And here's G5 now, just massing a bit of units in the centre. You've got the overlords, creep tumors everywhere, which is exactly what you need. And base is working at more or less optimum capacity. Zerg cocoons coming, you've got hydralisks coming, you've got 12 hydralisks, you've got groove spines here, you've got a hive. This is a lair, probably working into a hive. It's also a lair. So this is looking very, very good. Protoss player's just about woken up, he's going to go for another simulator, G5 as well. So looking to get as many units as he can in that middle. Looking amass up a huge army, and here comes a huge army. Before that, we're going to skip, well not skip, we're going to move to part 2, so if you want to continue this battle just as the Swilly's forces are coming in, do join part 2 and see part 2 of this.